This morning I'm starting out picking cayenne peppers.
The only thing I am afraid of is that because these are not with all the other peppers and they're not getting irrigated because the potatoes are basically done growing, we couldn't really justify running irrigation all the way out through here. And so I don't know how long these are gonna last. Like right now, they're really nice, they're solid, but the longer we go without rain, the softer they're gonna get. And nobody likes soft peppers. My papa always makes the comment and jokes with people at market telling them they're gonna get softer when you cook them, and it's 100% true. We would never sell anything rotten, but sometimes our pepper, like this one, is a little bit softer than like that one. And people will pick that out and they'll say they want it exchanged or they don't want it, or they'll just make some kind of comment, and then my papa will tell them that. And it's funny because then the people really don't have a comeback. But it's just the way people are. You just got to deal with it sometimes.
While I finish up the peppers, Sammy and her friend Alyssa are up here in the tomato field trying to get a couple baskets of round. We are getting towards the end of the season, or at least for our own tomatoes we are. We've been picking like crazy the past couple weeks, got hundreds and hundreds of baskets, and now it's kind of going the other way for the tomatoes, but we're still scrounging around to see what we can find. So they weren't up there for too long, but they got just around 18 baskets, maybe one or two more. As you can see, the tomatoes are pretty nice, just not quite as big as they once were.
So I just got back here to the shed. There's the long hots that I got. And then this is everything else throughout the day. Red bell, yellow bell, red beets, pickles, green bell, cubanelle, italianelle, white potatoes. On the back of the Kubota is eggplant. Sammy and Alyssa got the tomatoes here. Sammy said that they're getting a lot harder now, and you can see how they're really going down in size. They're still really nice, just not big. And so now, to finish up the day, we're gonna put this stuff through, get it in the cooler, and close up shop. So it's the next day. Just got up here to the cabbage field. We've just about got this patch cleared out. On that side, it's all regular round. On this side is the flat, and right here is the Savoy. We still have quite a bit of Savoy left, but the round and flat are just about over. So Eric's catching, I am picking. We want more round than anything, but like I said, By the time we get this bin done and probably pick one more, that'll finish this patch right up. Cabbage bin is pretty well full. Now we're looking for some cauliflower. Without the rain, this isn't maturing very fast. We're actually not even sure if it's gonna mature fully just because it's a little bit stressed out, but we'll see what happens here in the next week or so. Everything's just so tiny, you don't even see ahead. Nice one. Yeah. So now we finished up above, which is where that single tree is up there, and we're down here to our last and third patch of cole crops. We're gonna start picking kohlrabi. It's just a little bit young yet, but it grows so fast and we have so many of them that we want to start picking them before they get way too big. We did irrigate this patch. That's why these are as big as what they are. If not, they might not have even made it. We got the green kohlrabi, now we're gonna try and get some purple, which is basically the same thing. And I would assume it has the same flavor, but I can't really say for certain because I haven't eaten it yet. That's what it looks like. This is what we call our early season patch, which we have in plastic. And then we have another field right across the little waterway there that is not in plastic.
And then down over the hill is the other patch of long hots that I was picking earlier. Because the row is so long, I shouldn't have any trouble filling my orders. Seems like there's quite a bit on a plan.
We do have a guy coming tomorrow, just a customer, to pick 10 baskets, so I want to save some. But we do have some other orders we need to fill, and I'm gonna try and get them right now. They don't have to be completely solid red, but they should be the majority red. If they're a little bit twisted, that's okay. And if they're a little bit soft, I'm not worried about it. But if they're really, really soft and wrinkly, I won't put it in like that. Like there's no life left to that. But for the most part, what I'm seeing is they're pretty nice. One customer in particular, I know, wants them to be completely solid red. Like they can't even be the slightest green whatsoever. I'll put this in another basket. I'll save it for right now. They actually are so particular, this customer is, that they can't even have them the wrong shade. Like, if they're not like a nice bright red, they won't take them. They don't want like a, what they call an overdone red, which is like a darker. But for the most part, these are all pretty nice. Maybe if that customer comes and they're not happy with these, we can pick out a special basket for them, but we'll see what happens when that time comes. So these plants are doing really well. Right here is where the cubanelle starts. I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and got 2 half bushel baskets, which is a full bushel. And they're beautiful, almost solid red. So I'm averaging a basket every 3 plants, which is really, really good. And I'm basically cleaning the plants of every single red pepper that's on them. And you can see from the ground, I'm throwing very little away. I probably threw maybe 10 at most. There's still some green ones on, but not a lot. And so by the time we get all of these picked off and down below, we're most likely gonna be having frost or something of that sort that's gonna either very, very much slow down the process of them just growing in general and, you know, turning red. Unfortunately, the guys did not show up today, which means I'm basically by myself. Mom's just working on getting stuff around for the farm market, even though we're not open today. And my dad went to the co-op farmers market up in Scranton. So I'm just gonna do what I can do and hopefully the guys show up tomorrow. But, you know, I'm only one guy, so I can only do so much. Next up, I'm gonna be getting some eggplant. I have not picked these in a while, so I'm not quite sure where the good spots are, but I think I can figure that out. All season long, the eggplant have been like bigger than average. And it's really surprising because of how dry it's been, but I guess we've just been watering it quite a bit, and so that's really been helping out. But that's like average size for what we've been getting. I'm gonna try and get around like 7 half bushel baskets, all ranging in that size. And they're really not hard to find. I don't know if I just happen to find a good spot or if there's just that many in the field, but I'm really not gonna have to go more than a couple feet to get a basket. A lot of people, sometimes even family, customers, whatever, assume that just because fall is kind of right around the corner and we're starting to pick pumpkins, that our season is starting to wind down. And that's actually like 100% false. This is actually like peak of the season right now. And that's only because we're not only picking everything we started the season with, which is pickles, zucchini, cucumbers, peppers, all that, eggplant, but now we're getting into all the fall stuff, which is like cutting corn stalks just for decoration, pumpkins, all the ornamentals. And so we're still getting everything that we were getting on top of now getting even more. And so it's kind of hard just to keep up with everything, especially when we don't have the help show up, just because we have so much to get ready for. Like tomorrow, the farm market back home here opens, which we need to get 3 or 4 bins of pumpkins for that. We have to get all sorts of peppers, all sorts of pickles, eggplant. We're gonna be picking zucchini. A new patch of zucchini is now starting. And so there's just a lot going on, which is good, you know, and we're very busy. So we're really thankful for all of our customers who support us, but it's just a lot to do. And we want to have everything stocked full for when the people come to purchase stuff from us. When you get to a really nice patch like this, where it's really green, some of those back there are a little bit yellower. I don't know if they got too stressed out or what, but you can just look in here and see this plant has 4 eggplant, and 2 of those are really nice that I'm gonna pick. The other 2 I'm gonna let grow for a little while. And so I'll just come in here. I'm not gonna cut the top one because I don't have my other hand and I don't want to drop it. Right there, cut that off. and then gently pull it out without squeezing it and bruising it. At the top there, if you can see those, there's a bunch of little spikes you got to be careful of. They'll stick right into you and break off just like a splinter. So I was only supposed to get 7, but they were too good picking. I just ended up getting 9, which is how many I can fit in the Kubota. And then I went over, grabbed 4 yellow onions out of the barn that the guys already had picked, along with 2 purple and 3 white. Now I'm gonna head back out for bell pepper. So now I'm out here in the big field, and obviously, like I said, the guys didn't show up. But sometimes, in some ways, that's not the most bad thing in the world, just because I never really get to pick bell peppers, because they always do it, and I kind of like picking bell pepper. So we're gonna see how I can make out here. I always have them pick green just because that's been really popular lately, but I do want to try and get some red, but I want them to be all red if possible. You can see they already went through these. Like, there was probably quite a few on here. I'm trying to look if I can see any. Yeah, like right there was one that was broke off. Right over there was another one. Down there's another one. Right here looks like a nice red one. Yeah, that's what I'm mostly looking for there. It's not solid red, but it's pretty close. When you try and wait till they get solid red, like with not even a hint of green on it, what happens is they usually start to get a little bit soft. And so you got to pick them a little bit before that. Another thing that looks bad, that isn't really the worst, is these weeds. The plants have already grown to the size they were supposed to before the weeds got to this height. But now what these weeds are gonna do is protect them from the frost, at least the first couple frosts anyway, before it gets too cold and kills the plants down in. Unlike these ones over here, as soon as we get any kind of frost, it's gonna lay right on those plants and start to kill them. These ones will probably withstand a little bit more, which again is a plus. So we'll see here. That's a bad one. Yep, yuck. Dang it, that one's bad too. That one's huge and perfect. So what I'm trying to do now is find some solid green bell, which is actually kind of hard since they're all really ripening, turning red. This is about as close as I can find. It's starting to get a red top on it. Here's a nice one. Here's another one. They're really in there. Small one. So here's all the bell pepper that I picked. Bunch of beautiful reds, 4 green. Just got back with another load of Italianelle. These are mixed. This one's all solid green, and then 1 orange bell.